Greetings, everyone. If this is a familiar voice, perhaps we assume that we Methodists really can't tell time or keep up with clocks, and you've been to enough worship services to know that we're not very good at doing that. We run over and all of that. But the unique thing tonight is we know this morning we had about a third more than is here right now. And in some of the advertisement that went out on Facebook, the time was placed at 7:30, and we just discovered that. So if you're okay, and if you're not, if you're seated by somebody who's boring you right now, trade places and go to another seat and talk to somebody very interesting. But in about 15 minutes, we shall start. And that will be 7:30. We're compromising. That's right. Yeah.
I was going to say, perhaps I should hold up a Duke Carolina score over on the edge.
Yeah. Are you not taping that somewhere? Okay. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Yeah. Okay.
Maybe 7:20. We'll split the difference.
Okay.
Start 7:20.
Okay. Well, I'm sensing I've got to respond to the feedback. Shall we start now? How many wants to start now? Okay. You are here. Okay. We do listen. Okay. In 5 more minutes, we have the great privilege and the joy of hearing from Abraham Jam, and they'll introduce themselves in the program. What a blessing we do have and have had all week. This is we've had other wonderful groups here for the Peace Conference, but I don't know of any group that's ever blended in and participated in the discussions and the workshops and the meals and everything that we do any better than these, who also joined us over in Asheville and performed there. So we are grateful to them. And so when they come up, let's give them a big hand when they do come up on the stage.
y'all are kind to clap for us just for walking up here, and I have to say that, you know, it's not every night that I get that part right, so I appreciate that.
It has been such a pleasure and an honor to be with all of you over the last few days, and such a learning experience for us. And what a wonderful way to kind of begin to bring our time together to a close then with song. And thank you for joining us here tonight after what's been another fruitful day.
I realized a little while back that when I'm with a group of people in a faith community that is either extremely temporary, like this one, or a longer-term faith community. And we love background vocals, by the way, so that's fine.
That's really good.
It's awesome. Like harmony is great. But when I'm with a faith community, I realized a few years back that what I really long for in a faith community of any kind is about equal measure of nourishment and challenge. And I want to say that I'm finding that here with y'all, and I'm sincerely grateful. I've been challenged by good ideas. I've been challenged by good pushing, and you know, this is how we grow. It's always at the growing edge. There's always a little bit of tension, but I also long to be nourished. And when I find myself in a community that only challenges me and doesn't nourish me, I know I'm not in the right place. And likewise, when I find myself in a community that only nourishes me and doesn't challenge me, I'm not in the right place. The last few days, I think we've been in the right place. Thank you.
Tuning up for one thing.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Test.
I'm in favor of tuning.
One. Let's see.
It's one of those things that beats the alternative.
Potatoes are done.
Let's tune up. Well, that won't work. I can't tune this to a different note at the same time.
What do you need?
So give us a D, if you would.
All right, we can do that. I'll give you 3.
That's pretty close.
3D.
So,
See what I did there? Yeah. Don't try this at home. We're trained professionals.
one more time on the D. Yeah. Okay.
The drums shift a little bit just with the atmosphere. I think in tonight they're shifting a bit because of the high humility in the room. Yep. Be here all weekend.
Did I leave the house? In the monitor, but then they're out there. Testing.
Yep, not in the house. It sounds like.
Well, I can tell you.
Jeremy. Yep. One more button to push up here. Lots of little buttons. Back in the day, to play acoustic music, we didn't need any electricity.
That's right.
But now, it's so much better.
One. One.
One.
One. Can you help? One. 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 Lots of breath.
One.
One day in a distant land,
One.
woman and one man.
One.
Thing led to another.
One.
Was a father, one was a mother.
One.
Day, a daughter and a son.
One.
Year later, another.
One.
Plus one makes
One.
human race on the run.
One.
We'll run for
for the president. We'll run 'cause he can't pay the rent. Runs COVID operations. We'll run with no destination. Says wait, it's just not fair. Plate full and one plate bare. Flaw after another. Solution, add them all together. 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 makes 1. 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 makes 1 by 1. They tried to scatter, got thin, one got fatter. Got cake and one got the batter. In the gutter, one up the ladder. One hangs with the Hitler Youth. Marches Martin Luther's truth. Sings to the secret police while one goes trekking after Mother Teresa. One plays peekaboo with a baby girl. Plays checkers with an arsenal. Up a mountain just to get air. Papa Willie's in a wheelchair. One like Jesus, one like Judah. Yogananda, Muhammad, the Buddha. One says wait, how do you pick a path? One solution, new math. 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 makes 1. 1. 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 makes 1 to 1, and the lonely one to wonder where it's leading to. Wonderful, wondrous thing. One way, the way we're going. 1. Help us out. 1. Take a breath, let us hear you say 1. Bottling up his anger like a bomb. Drinking coffee 'cause he's just too calm. In the wilderness, living like a fox. Hanging curtains in a cardboard box. Sleeping off a 3-day drunk. In a think tank thinking all that can be thunk. In the garden with nothing but a stick. He's a couch potato, click, click, click. One channel Bambi, one channel Bond. Channel people, channel voices from beyond. Voices, what a great equation. One solution with a million variations. 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 makes 1. Everybody count it. 1. 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 makes 1. 1 goes up and 1 goes. 1 is square and 1 is. 1 will smile and 1 will. 1 is lost and 1 is. 1 is hot and 1 is. 1 is young and 1 is. 1 is silver, 1 is. 1 gets bought and 1 gets sold. 1 goes left and 1 goes. 1 by day and 1 by. 1 is dark and 1 is light. 1 is black and 1 is white. 1 says yes and 1 says. 1 goes fast and 1 goes slow. 1 goes high, 1 goes low. 1 says stop and 1 says go. 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 makes 1. 1. 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 makes 1. 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 makes 1. 1. 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 makes 1. It makes 1. It makes 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
From the mind of Billy Jonas.
Thank you. That was wonderful.
Oh, all right. That was at least as bad as my joke. the stars tonight. This cannot be quantified. Open wide and taste the light. Lay your cheek against the sun. Let it hold you firm and strong. Ringing like a carillon. Lay your cheek against the sun. Feel the heartbeat of the drum. Long ago this was begun. We are old who once were young. Feel the heartbeat of the drum. Drink the notes like drops of wine. Warming spirits, slowing time. Winding like an arbor vine. Drink the notes like drops of wine. Standing in this circle here, kindred spirits gathered near. On my cheek a sacred tear. Standing in this circle here, open wide and taste the light. Fallen from the stars tonight. This cannot be quantified. Open wide and taste the light. From Kitchener, Ontario, not too far from the big city of Toronto. It's my buddy Dawood Warnsby.
Can you hear the rhythm of all creation, the rhythm of the clapping of the thunder and the rain? Can you see the rhythm of all creation, the lightning and the leaves and the seasons as they change? Watch the children in the field spinning round and round. Watch their lanky, laughing, dizzy, silly falls upon the ground. They grip on to long grass, afraid of spinning with the sun. Reality deceives them neath the musing games of fun. Oh, can you hear the rhythm of all creation, the rhythm of the clapping of the thunder and the rain? Can you see the rhythm of all creation, the lightning and the leaves and the seasons as they change? Watch the grown-ups all twirling with the clock throughout the day. See us spinning through the hours while the time hands tick away. We try to grip the world like we would catch a falling knife. Reality deceives us neath the musing games of life. Oh, can you hear the rhythm of all creation, the rhythm of the clapping of the thunder and the rain? Can you see the rhythm of all creation, the lightning and the leaves and the seasons as they change? The rhythm of our world beats in surrender and in time. Our blood and our breathing testify. The rhythm of surrender is a part of who we are. With each heartbeat and involuntary blink of our eye, a part of us we can't deny. Can you hear the rhythm of all creation, the rhythm of the clapping of the thunder and the rain? Can you see the rhythm of all creation, the lightning and the leaves and the seasons as they change? Can you hear the rhythm of all creation, the storm against the sand and the pulsating waves? Can you see the rhythm of all creation, the rhythm of the children running wind upon the graves? Can you hear the rhythm of all creation?
Thank you so much. This is a whisper-along song. I tell people that it is for the sing-along impaired. Though none of you are sing-along impaired. Perhaps you're differently sing-along abled. I have a friend who got frustrated with tuning his guitar, and he said, "You know, man, I just tune to the earth." And then he started playing with a band. He said, "Yeah, that didn't work so well." But this tuning is interesting. I'll tell you about it. Because I was living in a house called Hanger Hall. Reverend Minister Dr. Crazy Man Howard Hanger. He found this house built by a man named Peter Demons, D-E-M-O-N-S. And Peter Demons was the master woodworking architect of the Vanderbilt Biltmore estate. So he was brought in and did all their parquet stuff and wood stuff. And this was his house, so it's a showpiece. And when Howard moved in, there was a hole in the roof as big as, he said, as big as a Volkswagen, just water pouring in, and the parquet floors were all curved. Now he's rehabilitated it, and it's a place where you could live too. Because it's a rooming house. And if you're up in the tower room late at night, there's trains going by down below along the French Broad River, and they play this chord. I would listen to the trains and tune my guitar to try to match it. Sometimes it's not that, sometimes it's a little more prosaic, but that train. I said, that's my train. And while I was sitting there tuning it, I started playing this little riff and lamenting the fact that I was living in this beautiful house, because this is not my beautiful house. This is not how I want to be living at the time. This is 26 years ago, and there was a microwave in the kitchen, and someone said, you know, my buddy, he tests microwaves in all the restaurants around town, and they all leak. He goes around with a Geiger counter. I was like, I don't want to live in a house with a microwave. And a voice came to me and said, Billy, God is in the microwave too. It's absolutely true. And I said, songwriting prompt. And I went and got some paper and I started writing a list. Here's the fruits of that labor. Let's do call and response. Hey, hey, hey. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That sounds good. There will be different words in a different key. This is just the rehearsal. God is in the child's eyes, see them wide, wondrous wise. God is in the rain and snow, and each snowflake, this we know. God is in the trees and air, the rocks, the birds, the bees, the bears. God is in the clouds above. God is in each act of love. God is in the oceans deep. Some say God goes there to sleep. God is in the mountains high, whistling a lullaby. God is in the darkest wood. God is in your neighborhood. God is in a place that's near. Sometimes it's just not so clear. God is in. 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 God is in the Christian house, bread and wine and holy cross. God is in the Jewish home. Shalom chaverim, shalom. God is in the Muslim. Allahu Akbar salam. God is in the Hindu way. Jai Bhagwan, namaste. God is in the dancing pagan. Each drop of perspiration. God is in the Wiccan coven. 12 plus 1. Perfect dozen. God is in the Druid song. That's why they go on so long. God is in the Buddhist chair singing, don't just do something, sit there. God is in the Vatican. God goes there for vacation. God is in the Quaker meeting, sleeping till they start the singing. Yeah. God is in your guru. How do you spell that? G-U-R-U. Oh. And God is in the atheist saying, yes, I don't exist. God is in the flowing Tao, then and now and now and now. And God is in the Rastaman, I and on and on. God is in the Mooney wedding, who gets who begin the betting. God is in those Hare Krishna, rub their heads and make a wish. Now God is in, 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 God is in your bank account, sometimes juggling the amount. God is in your ATM, counting bills and stacking them. God is in your college fund, laughing because it's gone, gone, gone. God is in your IRA, adding interest every day. Yeah. God is in your pocket change, your job is giving it to strangers. God is in the beggar's cup, sometimes God will fill it up. God is in the empty hand, spent it on cheap Almaden. God was in the SNLs, but left, that's why they went to hell. God is in Walmart, greets you with a shopping cart. God is in your old jalopy, makes it go when it should not be. God is in the Greyhound bus, sitting in back and watching us. God is in tourist class, on a frequent flyer pass. God is in the pilot light, dancing through the night. God is in the radio, public radio told me so. And God is in the microwave, unless you use something metal, then the microwave is the devil. Also, don't microwave with saran wrap, it forms molecular bonds with your food, turns your intestines into Tupperware. God is in your Tupperware, but not the lid, so buy some spares. God is in, 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 God is in. God is in the ozone layer, holier and holier. God is in the atom bomb, or at least the atom bomber's mom. God is in Chechnya, Srebrenica, Slovenica, Serbia, Monrovia, Liberia, Haifa, Kandahar, Baghdad, Beirut, Kandahar, Oklahoma, Detroit, and Parkland, and Washington, D.C. And God is incredulous at all the stuff we do to us. God is inspired by those who fly and those who try. God is insatiable, so sing and dance way past full. God is in you and me. Someday God'll help us see. God is in love with love, so live in love, and that's enough. God is in. God is in. God is inside of you. All you don't and all you do. God is in. God is in. God is in your greatest doubt. The jury's out, doctor's out, but God is in. 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 God is in.
I got the best seat in the house. It's nice up here. So if I were home in Black Mountain, North Carolina, just other side of Asheville, right about now, I would be reading a book to my son, who's 9 years old. And he's not here tonight, but you are. And I thought maybe I'd read you a story, if I may. It's based on a true story. I wrote this poem about a thing that happened, and the poem became a book. And it starts off a little disturbing. Hang with me, all right? Because it starts off as a disturbing story, but hang with me. We're going to be all right, okay? And it happened in 2007 in Knoxville, Tennessee, just over the mountain, not too far from here. And here's what happened. The day was bright and sunny, as most May days tend to be in the hills of Appalachia, down in Knoxville, Tennessee. A dozen men put on their suits and quickly took their places in white robes and those tall and pointed hoods that hid their faces. Their feet fell down in rhythm as they started their parade. They raised their fists into the air. They bellowed and they brayed. They loved to stir the people up. They loved when they were taunted. They didn't mind the anger. That's exactly what they wanted. And as they came around the corner, sure enough, the people roared. But they couldn't believe their eyes. It seemed to be support. Had Knoxville finally seen the light? Were people coming around? The men thought for a moment that they'd found their kind of town. But then they turned their eyes to where the cheering had its source, And as one, their shoulders crumpled when they saw the mighty force because the crowd had painted faces. And some had tacky clothes, their hair and hats outrageous. Each had a bright red nose. Now the clowns had come in numbers to enjoy the grand parade, and they laughed and danced that other clowns had come to town that day. And then the marchers shouted, and the clowns all strained to hear, each one tuned in intently with a hand cupped to an ear. White power, screamed the marchers. They raised their fisted hands. The clowns leaned in and listened like they couldn't understand, and then one held up his finger and helped all the others see the point of all this yelling, and they joined right in with glee. White flowers! White flower, the clowns shouted, and they reached inside their clothes. They pulled out bags and tore them, and huge clouds of powder rose. They poured it on each other. They threw it in the air. It got all over baggy clothes and multicolored hair. Now, all but just a few of them were joining in the jokes. You could almost see the marchers turning red beneath white cloaks. They wanted to look scary. They wanted to look tough. One rushed right at the clowns in rage and was hauled away in cuffs. But the others chanted louder, marching on around the bend. The clowns all marched on too, of course, supporting their new friends. White power, came the marchers' cry. They were not amused. The clowns grew still and thoughtful. Well, perhaps they'd been confused. They huddled and consulted this bright and silly crowd. They listened quite intently. Then one said, "I've got it now." "White flowers," screamed the happy clown, and all the rest joined in. The air was filled with flowers, and they laughed and danced again. Everyone loves flowers, and white's a pretty sort. I can't think of a better cause for people to support. Green flower stems went flying like small arrows from bad archers, and white petals covered everything, including the mad marchers. And then a very tall clown called the others to attention. He choked down all his chuckles and said, "Friends, I have to mention that what with all the mirth and fun, it's sort of hard to hear. But now I know the cause that these paraders hold so dear." "Tight showers," the clown blurted. And he hit his head in wonder. He held up a camp shower, and the others all got under. Or at least they tried to get beneath. They strained, but couldn't quite. There wasn't room for all of them. They pushed, but it was tight. "White power," came the mad refrain, quite carefully pronounced. The clowns consulted once again. Then a woman clown announced, "I've got it. I'm embarrassed that it took so long to see, but what these marchers march for is a cause quite dear to me." "Wife power," she exclaimed. And all the other clowns joined in. They shook their heads and laughed at how erroneous they'd been. The women clowns were hoisted up on shoulders of the others. Some pulled on wedding dresses, chanting, "Here's to wives and mothers." Well, the men in robes were sullen. They knew they'd been defeated, so they yelled a few more times, and then they finally retreated. And when they'd gone, a kind policeman turned to all the clowns, and he offered them an escort through the center of the town. The day was bright and sunny, as most May days tend to be in the hills of Appalachia down in Knoxville, Tennessee. People joined that new parade. The crowd stretched out for miles. The clowns passed out more flowers and made everybody smile. And what would be the lesson of that shiny southern day? Can we understand the message that the clowns sought to convey? It seems that when you're fighting hatred, hatred's not the thing to use. So here's to those who march on in their big red floppy shoes.
David Lamotte from Asheville and Billy Jonas from Asheville. What an honor to always be in their company on the road like this. And indeed, stories are what we pass on for thousands of years. Only been 100 or so years that people have been able to record their voices and record sound. Before that, the only way to learn these stories and learn these types of songs was when people like you and like me would sit together and sing with each other, pass along their stories and their songs. I'd like to share with you a story song tonight with the oldest instrument in the world, the human voice. This whole week that we've been together, a few days that we've been together, has been about meeting the other, right? Having a chance to talk with the other. Can we talk, as we were saying yesterday afternoon? Well, this is kind of a song, kind of a story song, Can I say kind of? I said kind of before, and I got in trouble for that. Yeah, kind of. Kind of unique. I'm not supposed to say kind of. But it's kind of a story song. It is a kind of a story song. It's based on a Muslim tradition and story. Well, I'll just stop talking and share the story with you. It would be such a pleasure to have you come along with me. I accept your gracious offer of kindness and company. But as we walk along, young man, and as you help me with my load, I have only one request as we travel down this road. Don't talk to me about Muhammad. Because of him there is no peace and I have trouble in my mind. So don't talk to me about Muhammad. And as we travel down this road, we will get along just fine. That man upsets me so, far much more than you could know. I hear of his name and reputation everywhere I go. Though his family and his clan once knew him as an honest man, he's dividing everyone with his claim that God is one. So don't talk to me about Muhammad. Because of him there is no peace and I have trouble in my mind. So don't talk to me about Muhammad. And as we travel down this road, we will get along just fine. He's misled all the weak ones and the poor ones and the slaves. They think they've all found wealth and freedom following his ways. He's corrupted all the youth with his twisted brand of truth, convinced them that they all are strong, giving them somewhere to belong. So don't talk to me about Muhammad. Because of him there is no peace and I have trouble in my mind. So don't talk to me about Muhammad. And as we travel down life's road, we will get along just fine. Thank you now, young man. You've really been so kind. Your generosity and smile are very rare to find. Let me give you some advice, since you've been so very nice. From Muhammad, stay away. Don't heed his words or emulate his way. And don't talk about Muhammad. You will never have true peace, and trouble is all you will find. So don't talk about Muhammad. And as you travel down life's road, you will get along just fine. Now, before we part and go, if it's all right just the same, may I ask, my dear young man, who are you, what's your name? Forgive me, what was that? Your words weren't very clear. My ears are getting old. Sometimes it's difficult to hear. It's truly rather funny, though I'm sure I must be wrong, 'cause I thought I heard you said your name is Mohammed. Sometimes it's important to wait till the end of the story. It comes from a story of the biography of Muhammad, where he was helping a woman. He saw her leaving the city and asked if he could help her carry her things. And this narration carried out. What I find most beautiful about the story, like the story we talked about today in our workshop, the Good Samaritan, is that when they got to the edge of the city and Muhammad handed back the woman's belongings and she was about to carry on her way, he didn't say, "Oh, by the way, that guy Muhammad, that's me, you know. Come on, join my brigade." No, it wasn't about numbers. It wasn't about conversion. It was about one thing: love, showing compassion and love to someone, even when they badmouth you and speak badly of you. And it's just something to keep in mind as a story that I pass on to my children as well.
Cross your fingers. We cross our fingers to pray that the truth that comes through a story like that will land in the right place and grow. Cross our fingers. May it be. And then we say ready. This is the sign language sign for ready. The letter R. Says ready. And then palms together, twisting is to become, or to make, or to do. So when you're ready to become, stand strong and surrender. Ready to be one. Try the last part. To be one. And I've been informed by many sign language people that this does not mean two in sign language. No. But it's sign language poetry. Just like this is understand and this is over the weekend. You know, these are sort of sign language jokes. So, to be one. Yeah, this is pasteurized milk. There's a lot of them. I got a million of them. Yeah. Anyway, let's try it. When you're ready to become, stand strong and surrender. Ready to be one. This song came in a dream. Every songwriter wants to dream songs because they come from a pure place, a true place. They usually require a little open song surgery after they're born. There's always something in it, they're like, what? We'll talk about that in a moment. If you want to be one with the water, dance with the river, sing with the sea. If you want to be one with the air, rage with the thunder and whisper to me when you're ready. Cross your fingers to become. Stand strong and surrender when you're ready to be one. If you want to be one with the earth, melt with the mountains, shift with the sand. If you want to be one with the fire, burn your bridges and reach for my hand when you're ready to become. Stand strong and surrender when you're ready to be one. If you want to be one with the infinite, spin with the planets, shine with the stars. If you want to be one with your spirit, surrender. You already are ready to become. Stand strong and surrender, ready to be one. So in this dream, it was James Taylor singing the song. It was delicious. It was just me and James in this beautiful concert hall. And when I woke up at 3:30 in the morning from the dream, I was sad because, first of all, because it was over and it's just been so beautiful. And secondly, because why does James Taylor get all the good songs? It's my dream. Felt sort of maligned by the dream world. And then I realized it was a James Taylor song I'd never heard before. And you can't dream a song you've never heard unless it was a Billy Jonas song that James Taylor was hijacking in my dream. So I got up and did what all good songwriters do. I picked up the telephone and I called myself. I left a message on my voicemail at 7 the next morning. When I woke, there it was like a gift, because I did not remember it at all. And there was that one line, stand strong and surrender. It's kind of oxymoronic, right? It's a contradiction, to stand strong and surrender. I started telling people about it, and a good friend of mine said, no, no, no. It's a good line. It means you have to know what you're holding on to before you let it go. You have to fully acknowledge and embrace those things that are in your way. Usually things we've created ourselves, stories, fears, sadnesses, anger. So let's do it now. Hold your hands out, palms to the ceiling, 2 hands out, and in your hands, go ahead and put something there with your mind that you want to let go of, something that it's been an obstacle, some intolerance, some assumption, some holier than thou-ness, some rightness, something, some place that you are just absolutely right. Or maybe scariest of all, some certainty. We learned this weekend that from one of the wise sages in the room that the opposite of faith is not doubt, it's certainty. Whatever it is that's in your way from connecting, from being one, close your fingers around it and know what you're holding. Doesn't feel good, and then you let it go. And you might do it again tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow, but you've begun. And then you cross your fingers and you say, when you're ready to become, stand strong and surrender, ready to be one more time, ready. Will you sing it with me? To become, stand strong, stand strong and surrender, ready to be one. If you want to be one, if you want to be one, if you want to be one.
Kind of a word nerd, and I love etymology. That's just something I need to confess to y'all. Probably some of my people are in the room. That story I read to you, it can be a little disturbing, especially since some folks in the room have had to deal with that quite directly, much more than other folks in the room have. And I'd like to clarify that it's not really a story about racism, it's a story about nonviolence. Because when we're faced with naked aggression like that, we got to figure it out. How do we respond? And there are always 2 main camps when something like that happens. One says, ignore them. All they want is attention. Just leave, just ignore them. Problem with that approach is that the people that are being attacked may feel abandoned if we take no action. And they might feel abandoned because they're being abandoned, right? And so that approach doesn't really do it. And the other approach that's really common is to go down there and scream at the screamers and hate the haters and try to run them out of town. The problem is, as Dr. King said, that hatred can't defeat hatred. Only love does that. Darkness can't defeat darkness. Only light does that. So nonviolence is never passive. Passive comes from the Latin passus, which means to suffer. But pacifist comes from completely different words. There are no similar words in the etymology of those two. Pacifist comes from pax, which is peace, and ficare, which is the fundamental action verb of Latin. It's to do or to make. So you literally can't be a pacifist and be passive. You got to be active, right? But since the first 2 options that come so naturally to us, the fight and flight options, since those are closed off, that means we've got to be creative in order to be peacemakers. We got to be creative. And it's hard. And that's the thing, right? It's got to be hard. We look at the situation, we say, there's no way. What are you going to do? Like, well, it's not supposed to be obvious. In the 60s, they said, we make a way out of no way. There's no way. So we make a way out of no way. It takes a dose of spirit to do that. I was in Sarajevo in the year 2000, which was not too long after the war there had ended, or at least been tamped down. I'm still not sure it's ended, but it's been quelled somewhat. And it was pretty discouraging. The city was all bombed out, and there were people with heavy injuries everywhere. And they took all the bomb craters that were all over the city, and they filled them with red cement. It was quite striking, painful. But here's the thing, if you're in a really dark room and there's this one little tiny pinpoint of light somewhere, it shines so brightly. And that's what happened to me when I was in Sarajevo. I went to this choir practice. And in many ways, it was like choir practices I've been to the United States, except, there was more smoking. But, it was in a church basement, and people were singing songs, and it was quite beautiful. And some of them were in languages I didn't understand. And it looked pretty normal, but what was happening there was so radical, because this was a choir called the Pontanima Choir that is made up of Christians and Muslims, and later some Jews joined, singing together each other's sacred music. In the immediate aftermath of the war, fought largely along sectarian lines between Christians and Muslims, doing the work of rehumanizing each other. So those people walk by in the first verse of this song. I wanted you to recognize them when they come through the room.
Closest I've flown to the face of the war was into Sarajevo, waiting to pray. Bombs didn't fly from the hills anymore, but the people were haunted. There was fear in the air, and the city was cratered from the shells in the rounds, like rain on a puddle, like the face of the moon. And they buried the bodies till they filled up the ground. In the grass on the highway, they just ran out of room. But the people have gathered in the middle of town with the songs they hold sacred of a time coming soon. From their different traditions, they are singing the sound of their future together, and they're singing in tune. And all the darkness in the world can't extinguish the light with just one candle. All the darkness in the world can't extinguish the light with just one candle. Got word overseas that an old friend had died. She was bright-eyed and laughing, gone far too young. And my spirit and body felt hollow inside, and I wanted to cry out, but no sound would come. So I walked through the night in a dangerous town, where the gunfire can sound like the 4th of July. But by chance I looked up, and the stars shining down tore the wind from my lungs and the rain from my eyes. 'Cause just like my friend, those stars are long gone, and that
thousands of years. So the light that we shine seems to go on and on, like those rays across the cosmos to reflect through my tears. And all the darkness in the world can't extinguish the light, just one candle. All the darkness in the world can't extinguish the light, just one candle. You can say love is a powerless tool, that the real world is heartless, and that hope is for fools. But I watch for the sunrise, and the truth is I found it's not light that is fragile, it's the other way round. And all the darkness in the world can't extinguish the light, just one candle. All the darkness in the world can't extinguish the light, it's just one candle. Believe me that all the darkness in the world can't extinguish the light, just one candle. Thank you. Thank you. I co-wrote that song with Francis of Assisi. He wrote the chorus.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I've got my finger.
Y'all holding up okay? We're planning on, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 more songs, something like that. You gonna hang? You good for that? About like that. We've had a dense couple of days here, but it's really such a delight to have this time with you. I'm really grateful that you're choosing to be here. It's always a gift when people give you their attention. It's not something you get automatically because you have a microphone. There are lots of clergy in the room. Am I right? Yeah. Right? Yeah. It's always a gift. So thank you for that good gift. It doesn't go unnoticed or unappreciated. It's no small thing.
I got a gift tonight, as did Dawood. I got a new shirt. It's brand new. And
Looks sharp, Billy.
Looking
It's like
really good,
tailor-fitted.
actually. Yeah.
I got it from Dawood.
It's a little. Well, you know, before you clap, it was a bit of a circumstance. You see, my shirt, I didn't have a white shirt. You see, and that's the whole Abraham Jam thing. Without a white shirt, what would I be? I would be, you know. So I got this white shirt. Had to hunt all over, high and low, all over the town that I live in to try and find a white shirt with one of those funky collars like that. We all like those types of collars. I finally found the shirt, shoved it into my suitcase, brought it here to the event. It's been wrinkled up in there for the last few days, and today at dinner, I gobbled up my dinner, telling my friends at my table, I need to get up to my room, and I gotta iron my shirt. David was saying, you're such a wonderful character. You iron your shirt, you're so responsible. I said, no, it's if my wife sees a picture of me on Facebook without an iron shirt, I'm gonna be in serious trouble. So, long story short, I got up to my room after eating such a wonderful dinner. Isn't the food here amazing? Everybody give a round of applause for the food here. I pulled out that iron, I ironed that shirt, I put it on, and it didn't go around my belly very well at all. I keep eating those desserts. Anyway, well, Billy's in great shape, so it just so happened that his shirt fit me and my shirt fit him, and so we swapped tonight.
And they look pretty sharp, I gotta say.
As they said in Dances with Wolves, good trade. Good trade.
That's a story you didn't need to know. It's a story you know now, and boy, you'll never look at my belly the same way again. Here we go with an old one-hit one from the Muslim world. طلع البدر علينا من ثنيات الوداع وجب الشكر علينا ما دعا لله داع. Oh, the white moon rose over us from the valley between hills of sand, and we owe it to
is our land. Subhanallah, alhamdulillah, mashallah. Subhanallah, subhanallah, alhamdulillah, mashallah. Subhanallah. أيها المبعوث فينا جئت بالأمر المطاع جئت شرفت المدينة مرحبا يا خير Oh, you were raised among us, coming with the word to be obeyed. You have brought to this city nobleness. Welcome you who call to God's way. Subhanallah, alhamdulillah, mashallah. Subhanallah, subhanallah, alhamdulillah, mashallah. Subhanallah. طلع البدر علينا من ثنيات الوداع وجب الشكر علينا ما دعا لله
Ready? Just about.
Snap, clap.
Second.
Clap, clap. Snap, clap. Hallelujah. And then we say praise. As if our arms, some of us did this last night at services at Beth HaTefillah. By the way, congregation, Beth HaTefillah, this question came up. Beth is also Beit, which means house, which in Arabic is
Beit.
Beit, yeah. So Beit HaTefillah, house of prayer. That's where we were last night. Congregation, house of prayer. And as you travel around, you'll find many Beth Israel, Beth Chavirim, Beth, lots of Beths. They're all houses of. And we were at the house of prayer, Beth HaTefillah, last night, and we did this, and we had our hands up when we said, Yah. Yah, which is the sound of breath coming through your body. Yah, as in the word hallelujah. Hallel means to praise, and Yah is Yah. So they're saying praise Yah. And so the ancient Hebrews, the ancient Jews believed that the sound of breath moving through your body was a beautiful name for the source of all creation. You say, praise Yah, praise the source of this life, this breath that's coming through me. We make it like a chalice so that it's being sent and received, as if you are an antenna, which you are, sending and receiving at every moment. And then we bring that wonder down. It's like this little, that's why I like to flare my hands, because you're sending and receiving. Then you bring it down as if you want to manifest that goodness all around you on the planet, because you're all peacemakers, you're all creators of goodness. And so this exercise of like, Yah, praise, Yah, praise. As opposed to saying praise like this, we're praising through our good works by putting it right here, laying it at the feet of those in need. So, little primer on what all that motion is about. What's all that motion about? Kol hanshama, kol hanshama, kol hanshama, te hallelujah, praise. Kol hanshama, kol hanshama, kol hanshama, te hallelujah. Praise. And then the next part. Praise, yeah. Praise. Praise, yeah. Every other one's yeah. Praise. Praise, yeah. Keep it up, keep it up. Praise. Praise, yeah. Praise. Praise in the temple. Praise, yeah. Praise in the street. Praise. Praise God in the eyes. Praise, yeah. Every face you meet. Praise. Praise for your partner. Praise, yeah. Praise for your foe. Praise. Praise for everyone and everything you know. Kol hanshama, kol hanshama, kol hanshama, te hallelujah. Praise. Kol hanshama, kol hanshama, kol hanshama, te hallelujah. Praise. Praise with your working, praise with your play, praise with your thinking, every word you say. Praise with your dreaming, praise through the night, praise with every action, praise with all your might. Kol hanshama, kol hanshama, kol hanshama, te hallelujah. Praise. Kol hanshama, kol hanshama, kol hanshama, te hallelujah. Praise. Praise with a timbrel, praise with a dance. Praise with your senses, every single chance. Praise with your fingers, praise with your feet, praise with your heart, every single beat. Kol hanshama, kol hanshama, kol hanshama, te hallelujah. Praise. Kol hanshama, kol hanshama, kol hanshama, te hallelujah. Praise. Praise, yeah. Praise. Praise, yeah. Praise. These are words of King David. Praise, yeah. Psalm 150. Praise. He wrote them. Praise, yeah. At least the next ones. Praise. I extrapolated. Praise, yeah. Co-wrote the first verses. Praise. Praise, yeah. But King David wrote. Praise. Praise with a trumpet. Praise, yeah. Praise with a flute. Praise. Praise with a harp. Praise, yeah. Praise with a lute. Praise with a bucket. Praise with a pot. Praise with crashing cymbals. Everything you've got. Hey, kol hanshama, kol hanshama, kol hanshama, te hallelujah. Praise. Kol hanshama, kol hanshama, kol hanshama, te hallelujah. Praise. Kol hanshama, kol hanshama, kol hanshama, te hallelujah. Praise. Kol hanshama, kol hanshama, kol hanshama, te hallelujah. Praise.
We like words. We also like music. And we've done a lot of talking the last couple of days, and the talking has been really important. There's been deep sharing in a lot of this work. And that's good and right and true. And every once in a while, I think it's good to play a little music with no words. And the joy in that for me, part of the joy is that it's kind of the one time in the evening where we don't decide what the song is about for you, right? We're giving you at least hints the rest of the time. There's always room for interpretation with any kind of art, but generally we're giving you a topic and a theme and some ideas. This one is an instrumental, and so it's really up to you. I'm not even going to tell you what it's called before the song. I usually forget to tell you what it's called after, so you can remind me if you want to, if you'd like to know. I play it at almost every show I ever do, which means that I've played it probably easily 3,000 times. And every time I play it, it's a little different. It wants to go somewhere else, and I try to follow it. Artists talk a lot about the muse. I've found that the muse likes to be followed, but she doesn't like to be pushed. remembered. That's called Shadows. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, David and Billy. I mentioned earlier tonight about stories, our stories. And yesterday, one of my favorite parts of yesterday were the breakout discussions that we had. And there was some wonderful discussion in our group next door there, and especially people talking. It came up several times about the importance of us not being so connected to this world, remembering that our relationships with people here, it's so important that we use them while we got them, because time goes by so quickly. It's one of my last offerings for the night. I thought I'd share with you a song that came about through my journal writing. I mean, you put up your hand, anybody keeps a journal or a diary, or, only a few of you. See, when I throw that question out to high schools and primary schools, so many children keep diaries. That's such a wonderful thing to do. As we get older,
At least claim to when you ask them.
well, they
I'm kidding.
they seem to be pretty sincere, because whenever I ask them where they hide it, I always ask them, do you hide it? And they say, I say, do you hide it between the mattresses of your bed? Yeah, that's where we hide it. So I kind of judge from that honesty that... But it's such an important habit to keep. I've been keeping a journal for about 25 years. I don't know what's going to happen to those things. I think one day before I pass away, I'll just burn them in the backyard or something. But they're important for us to look back on in our lives, to keep those memoirs of the stories that we've got and that we pass on. And, well, I thought I'd share with you this song. A lot of my songs start off as words, not so much as music, but as words, and in my journal. And like Billy going back to his answering machine the next morning, sometimes it surprises you when you wake up the next day and read what you've been writing late in the evening. Well, when my mother was getting older and ill, and I would stay with her in the hospital, and she would say to me, why is this happening to me? And I would say, Mom, every day that we wake up, there's a reason why we're here. There's something we're supposed to learn, some job we're supposed to finish, or something we're supposed to find out. And each day we got to just keep asking ourselves, what is that thing I'm supposed to do? And, well, she got to the point where she was taking a lot of medication, and she wasn't really waking up. She was just sleeping a lot. And I would sleep next to her there in the hospice, and I would wake up every day and hear her breathing and ask myself and ask God, why is this happening? And I realized I had to take some of my own advice, and I thought, well, I better set to work. So I started writing, and each day I would just write and listen to her breathe and try to dig to the bottom of my mind and the bottom of my journal about what it was that I needed to learn, what did I had to find out from all of this. And one morning I woke up, and her breathing had changed a little, and I went over to her and fluffed her pillows up, and then I went back to my chair and kept on writing. About 15 minutes later, her breathing changed again, and I got up to try and make her more comfortable. And about the third time that this happened, I realized that she wasn't just uncomfortable, but it was her time to go. And it was so amazing to be able to be with her during that transition of life. And maybe some of you have gone through that with loved ones, or I know some of you I've spoken to are maybe going through that these days. Well, it took me a year to go back and remember, hey, I was writing in my journal that day. What was I writing? With everything that went on, of course, I never even remembered what I'd been writing. And when I went back, I found this, just written as I'll share it with you tonight. It's called Live Life Like a Traveler. I think perhaps it was the last thing I was supposed to learn. When I was young, there were many things they tried to teach me. Son, you must be grounded, find some strong stability. Be rooted and secure to live long and endure. Don't seek out chance or circumstance, and never try if you're not sure. There was a harmony I heard when I shut my eyes, like advice from some strange voice I seem to recognize. Build dreams or chase behind their shadows in your mind. You can choose to give or lose, take what you get or seek to find, and live like a traveler, only passing through. Don't let your baggage weigh you down. Through all you need to do,
Faith and friends and freedom, they will always be with you. If you live like a traveler, only passing through. Looked out from the windows of my school and parents' home. There was so much new to learn, I got an itch to roam. It wasn't long before I unlocked the old back door. I was roving in the world to learn and to explore, and I lived like a traveler, only passing through. Don't let your baggage weigh you down through all you need to do. Faith and friends and freedom, they will always be with you. If you live like a traveler, only passing through. I look back in all honesty, my parents weren't all wrong. It's important to know who you are and where you best belong. But roots don't grow in boxes, dreams wither out of range. Cash in the bank can't buy success if you're afraid of change. And that old world stability must mean something else to me, 'cause I feel it underfoot each step I take when I am free. And I live like a traveler, only passing through. Don't let your baggage weigh you down through all you need to do. Faith and friends and freedom, they will always be with you. If you live like a traveler, only passing through. Thank you so much.
Well,
Here we are.
here we were, here we are, here we will be. Tomorrow again, we have services together. And the difference will be, I'm going to change my shoes for tomorrow. I will.
And you know, Billy, just if I can interject real quick, I'm going to be back in Waynesville by myself on the 27th, maybe, of this month at First Methodist downtown in Waynesville. I'm doing a show by myself, but what's much better than that is that Abraham Jam is going to be back in Asheville. The Root's going to fly back down from Canada so that we can do a thing on, is it the 26th of April? I think that's right.
Well,
it's
we
the
got
day after my 50th birthday.
April 7th.
April
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
That's
April
right.
7th. Okay.
April, well, April 7th
That's
is
right. I'm all
Carrie.
confused.
It's Carrie.
April 7th back here, the
Carrie.
three of us. Over
Carrie.
Is in Cary?
Is in Cary, North Carolina.
Anyway, we're going to be back around sometime. You can go to abrahamjam.com and that'll tell you where to find us. And if you want to sign the mailing list out there, we are working on a live record together. It's not done yet, but we're pretty excited about it. And if you want to sign the mailing list, we will drop you a note to tell you when it's getting ready to come out and stuff like that.
Yeah, there.
Each of us individually, but not all together yet. We're still working on our very first record together. So, awesome.
So I haven't asked David and Dewood permission to mention, but before we make that album, we're going to do a Kickstarter campaign. Can I tell them that?
You can
It's
tell.
going to
Nobody
start.
knows this but you.
It's going to start in March. We just decided,
And it's one of those social networking fundraising platforms. And just if you're on our mailing list, we'll be able to let you know. And you can sign up at our website, abrahamjam.com, or you can sign up on a piece of paper out in the lobby. And it's a very exciting prospect to put this together, what are called the perks. If you've ever donated one of these, you donate a certain amount and you get special things. And we're putting that list together now. Some of it will be pre-release songs, some of it will be special videos, some of it will be other albums. And fun stuff, prizes. It's like Cracker Jack, remember? Yeah, and so it's like, what am I going to get? So, right.
Yeah, and speaking of remembering, we've been singing you our own songs tonight, and most of you probably didn't know much of any of these songs. So we're going to sing you one that you might recognize tonight to close out. And if you do recognize it and you want to sing along, please do. We would love it. No matter what your neighbor says, we encourage you to sing along. What a planet. This stuff falls out of the sky. Awesome.
Then we put it in plastic.
Yeah.
What kind of race are
I'm
we?
going to talk about that part, but yeah. All right, we ready?
Ready.
Some will go, you will surely pass. When the oneness that left us here returns for us at last, we are but a moment's sunlight fading on the grass. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, try to love one another right now.
That sounded good, let's do it again.
Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Take it away, Dawood. Everybody get together, try and love one another right now. If you hear the song we sing, you will understand. You hold the key to love and fear, it's in your trembling hand. Unlocks them both, it's there at your command. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, try to love one another right now.
Hey, let's sing it each other.
Come on, people now, smile on each other, everybody get together, try and love one another right now. Right now. Right now. Right now. Right now. Right now. Right now.
Abraham Jam,
Thank
you
you all
so
so
much.
much. It's been such a privilege to be
you
with
so
you
much.
tonight. Thank you. Billy Jonas, Dawood Bornsby, David Lamont.
David Lamont.
Thank you. Nope, not bad. That's all right. That's all right. Thank you. All right, so this is the part where no matter what you do, we won't play any more songs. All right?
We have one more for you. We would like to sing one more for you. Thank you for your graciousness. Thank you.
The thing is, we really like playing songs, so we do have one more.
You know, this is amazing. There are people that pay literally millions of dollars to keep you home in front of your TV. And you came out to this interfaith conference, and we just feel so privileged.
Y'all are doing a radical and subversive thing by being in a room. I mean, you are, by being in a room together sharing live music. That's no small thing. Not everybody gets that these days. So good on you, and thank you.
Get in tune. Oh, I was supposed to get in tune earlier tonight. I forgot about that. Sorry. We'll do one more song for you we didn't write. It's always nice to do songs we didn't write. They're always, well, at least in for me, I always like singing songs other people wrote because I don't like singing my own songs actually. But this one was written by Steve Earle, and I've seen on the internet various places where Steve Earle's played this tune live, and he's given an introduction to it, and I'll share that introduction with you. He says that a lot of people told him he was crazy when he wrote this song, but he insists he's going to keep on singing it until it either comes true or he dies, whichever happens first. And we wish Steve Earle a long life, of course, but in the event that something should happen to Mr. Earle, we'll keep singing it on his behalf. I woke up this morning and none of the news was good, and death machines were rumbling across the ground where Jesus stood. And the man on my TV told me it had always been that way, and there's nothing anyone can do or say. And I almost listened to him. Yeah, I almost lost my mind, but I regained my senses again and looked into my heart to find, oh, I believe there'll come a day when the children of Abraham will lay down their swords forever in Jerusalem.
Maybe I'm only dreaming, maybe I'm just a fool, but I don't remember learning how to hate in Sunday school. Somewhere along the way I strayed and never looked back again, but I still find some comfort now and then when the storms come.
and there'll be no barricades then. No wires and no walls will wash this blood from our hands and this hatred from our soul. 'Cause I believe that on that day, children of Abraham will lay down their swords forever in Jerusalem.
The children of Abraham will lay down their swords forever in Jerusalem. Will lay down their swords forever.
Thanks so much, friends.
Thank you.